Oh, hey, how are you guys? Welcome to Capital Advantage Tutoring's live Q&A. I'm Ken Finnan, and I'm going to be here to help you pass the SIE exam, the Series 7, the Series 6, the Series 65, and all that stuff. And if you really get bored, watch my crappy podcast, which I haven't updated in 3 weeks because I'm too busy teaching. See the ring lights? You can see it in my glasses. Ginger, how are you? I'm trying to find a place to put this so it doesn't. Okay. I think that's a little bit better. Okay. Make it nice and bright. See, it's amazing. I can change the colors and make myself look really like white and not yellow and stuff. Okay. So welcome again. I'm Ken Finnan, and I've been doing this for teaching for almost 12 years, and I've been in the business for, God, I don't know, since probably before most of you were born. Bianca, how are you? Ginger, how are you? So if anyone saw my update from before, a wonderful thing that I talked to Finner about, he's selling it. Alexandra, wow, long time no see. Okay, that's great. Okay, so now, so what's amazing about this thing that I mentioned on the last, I just shot out a quick video while I was at Chick-fil-A. This program come find. So if you self-sponsor, so all of you guys, all of you who are sponsoring yourself for the SIE exam, you can actually opt into this thing. And one of the guys on LinkedIn said he saw it, he opted in right away. Okay. Loretta, we will talk in a second. The best way is go on my website, capadvantagetutoring.com, and shoot me an email and we'll figure it out. And don't worry, as I say to everyone, it's a 30-day problem in a 20-year career. So don't sweat that too much, Loretta. It's just jump in, join the videos, and let's get through this and not worry about it. Carolyn, how are you? So this program, I love it. It's called Find, F-I-N-D. And if you Google it, FINRA Find, you'll see this. Anyone who is self-sponsored for the SIE, if once you're registered, you're deleted, okay? Because you have a job. This thing Find is pretty cool. It's a database of people who passed the SIE, or at least in the process of taking the SIE, and if they're working with me on these videos, in the process of passing the SIE, not just taking it. So now, this program is amazing. So you put it in, you fill out some stuff, and I talked about it before. I'm just going to keep going through it. You fill out, you're just going to put I think you can put your history on there. You can put your name. I think your social security goes in there too, but nobody sees it. LV, how are you? And it might be it's on there because they have it when you're sponsored, when you registered yourself. So the big thing here is that your name goes into this database. And all the firms, like there's 25 or 30 firms signed up, and we're going to see if we can get some more signed up because it's a free service for the firms where they go, look, we need a bunch of guys who've taken the SIE, but LV, come on, we got this. We're going to be good. Okay, so now LV's all nervous about the test. And I think we're going to talk about one day about whether you should move it or not. But if you move, this is what I tell everyone. If you're thinking, should I move the test or not? Just move it, because in your head, you probably should. Romanian, how are you? So, what if I've taken 3 exams through FINRA? Go into that a little deeper. But so the find is if you have the Series 7 and you're registered, you're not in. I guess if you have the 7 but you're not registered, you can opt back in. But if you're with a firm, if I'm Deutsche Bank and I sponsor someone to take the SIE and they take it, okay. If they take it, I get first dibs at them for 6 months, and then they go in. Okay. Okay. So if you're not registered, go into the Find, F-I-N-D, and FINRA and put your name in there. And what happens is they're looking. It's kind of a matching where the firm comes in and says, I need people from I need people who want to work in New York or Chicago. I think the top 300 cities they use, and that helps. They're going to find people. So he said he sends out about 100 names a week to the various firms of people who don't have the licenses yet, or they don't have a job and they're looking for it. I think it's great. Okay. Again, if you're there, that's one thing. There's another thing. He was talking to him and he said this great thing, which is amazing. Now, we all know that if you work for a firm and you get registered, SIE 7, 6, whatever it is, if you leave the firm, you have 2 years. Okay. Okay. Perfect. That's good. So do that. Just Google Find first, and then you go FINRA, then F-I-N-D, and you'll see it. Okay. And you can see all the FAQs, and then you can call them, and then they'll see what they got. Okay. You can just opt in. It'll just tell you what to do. Now, this program, normally, if you leave a firm, and after 2 years after leaving the firm, There's no, you lose your licenses, you have to retest. This proposal is so far along that nobody knows about this. Okay. Just type in FINRA, FIND, and program, and you'll see it'll show up. Okay. And it's on the FINRA website. It's in the proposal. It's past the comment stage. It's actually going out as a rule proposal where they're going to, yes, I can. So what they're going to do, Allie, how are you? See, Allie's the one who I did the video with. I hope nobody's watching. People are watching. It's my Lessons with Allie series of stuff that I'm doing. Like I'm going to show her lessons that we had. Okay. So now what they're doing is they're going to, I'm going to block this so I can talk and not go crazy. They are going to allow someone to keep their licenses for up to 7 years after they leave a firm, as long as they do a continuing ed. It's like almost a done deal. It's going to happen. It probably won't happen till the spring, but that's fine. So if you have a job and you lose it and you want to go get say you want to go have kids or whatever, take years off, as long as you take the continuing ed every year, you can come back and not have to retest, which is awesome. Hurts my business a little bit, but that's really cool that they're doing that it's going to allow people to leave the business, leave the industry, and then come back. I think that's awesome. Okay. So I think that's awesome that that's doing that. Okay. And it's great. So I think that's awesome that if you guys leave, it's not a rule yet. They're proposing it. And I asked him if I could bring it up, and he said, yes, it's out there. They're trying to extend the window that if you take continuing ed, you can go out to at least 7 years. Okay. So custodian, do you mean custodian bank? So a custodian is a trustee runs a trust. That's what it is. They kind of have the same responsibilities. Oh, before I start, somebody told me to stop drinking straight things. So look what I got. The powder stuff to put in my water. So I might even start drinking water. And I'll do like 8 of these per drink, and that should be fine. Okay. Now, custodian is basically like if you get an UTMA or an UGMA account, okay? So if you have an UGMA or an UTMA account, you're managing it for a child. You are the custodian of that account, okay? Your job is to do what's right for the customer, for the child under 18 or under 25 if it's UTMA. Okay, that's a custodian. A trustee is in charge of a trust. So a trustee, so we have the grantor who sets it up. We have the trustee who's managing it, and the beneficiaries who's receiving the fund, right? So on a trust, which is an account set up that has legal protections and all that, okay? I'll talk about DVP and RVP in a second. On the exam, okay. So now, before I go, let me finish the custodian, and I'm going to tell you why they did this 7-year thing. So, a trustee manages an UTMA or UGMA account. He always has to put the child's need ahead of his. He's a trustee. He manages it. The custodian does the UTMA, UGMA. Trustee does a trust. See, I talk too fast, and that hurts me. So, trustee handles a trust. He has to manage it for all the beneficiaries as a whole. Okay? A custodian manages like a is it UTMA or UGMA accounts? I think I'm getting tired, and that's what's happening. I'm talking without thinking. Custodian handles the UGMA, UTMA accounts. UGMA is up to 18. UTMA is up to 21 or 25, a lot more flexibility, but they still have to manage it for the best interest of the child, where the trustee manages a trust and manages it for all the beneficiaries, not just the oldest or the youngest or whatever it is. And they can pay themselves, and they can, both of them, both custodians and trustees kind of have the same job in a way, but they go, Vanessa, how are you? Okay, so now, so that's what I was saying. So that's what I was talking about, that a trustee runs a trust, okay? Then a custodian runs an UGMA or UTMA account, okay? Trustee does not run UGMA or UTMA, but all of these are fiduciary accounts where you have to, I don't know. I don't think so. Cynthia might be on. Nicole, I haven't seen in a bit. I think she's taking a test again soon. So she might be on here. Sometimes she's in here and I see the pop-up. So the trustee manages the trust. The custodian manages that. They are both considered fiduciaries because they must put their needs ahead of the. Oh my God, did I just really say that? They must put the client's needs ahead of theirs. I think I'm having a bad day. It's the no soda stuff. That's what's doing it. Okay. I think I'm trying to read these things, and that's what happens. Okay. Let me go back to this. Okay. Yeah, LV, you got to start reading. Okay. As long as you're reading, take a test. And an instructor shredded me today. Okay. LV, you didn't leave yet, I hope. Okay. LV, Robin, how are you? Where's your skydiving buddy, Judy? So now, LV, if you're still on here, do not let the instructor F with you. Okay. Remember something. If you say you're taking on the 20th and you're not scoring in the 90s, I hope that helps. If you're not in the high 80s or 90s, they're always going to tell you to push it off because they don't want to get in trouble. So don't ever let an instructor get in your way. But I tell everyone, if in your mind you say, if you are taking it, if you think that you need to move it back, move it. Because if it gets in your head that you should have moved it back, you're already there, so just move it. Kind of like whether you're ready or not, for the most part. I have a couple guys like John who thinks he's never ready, and I love him. But if you think you're not ready and you think you should move it back, move it back. It's not a big deal. I mean, what's a week? Don't take it as a confidence shot. And the instructor is really doing it to cover their ass because they want to make sure that you don't fail because you're not getting high 80s. Okay. And John, there you are. You heard me talking about you. I knew you'd be on. Okay. Now, okay. DVP, RVP in a second. So here's the thing. So before I do that, it's kind of the teaser, make you wait for it. The reason they're doing the 7-year thing is because they want to stop people from parking their licenses. They think once this goes through, you'll see a lot of U5s coming through because what people do is, I'm working for a firm. I'm going to kind of leave the business. I'm going to pay someone, not legally, pay someone to hold my license for me illegally. Because remember, I don't want to take the test again. So they have a feeling if they extend this to 7 years and you just have to do continuing ed, a lot of people are like, wait, we don't have to break the law anymore. So let's just U5 everyone. And then they can just wait 7 years. 7 years is a long time. If you go longer than that without coming back on the business, you're out of the business. That's fair. Okay. Now, okay. Oh, RVP, DVP. So, okay. Understand how this goes. This is not that big a deal. And you're going to get maybe one question on it at all. And they're not going to make you decide between DVP and RVP. Because when I open accounts, it's a DVP, RVP account. It's basically an account that I set up with the prime broker. And as I do trades as an executing broker dealer, the DVP account is the account where the money tunnels through. Like basically, if I go to buy 1,000 shares of IBM, I'm Schwab, and I have a prime broker of JP Morgan. JP Morgan has they're the prime broker. They're holding the assets for my customer. They're holding the securities and the cash. I execute for my customer. So I buy 1,000 shares of IBM at 50. The JP Morgan will send the money, the 50,000 to me, and then the DVP RVP account is where it tunnels right through to the other side. And then the shares come back through the DVP RVP account, and then boom, it goes up to the prime broker. It's one account. The DVP RVP account is one account. When I open it up, it's one form that says DVP RVP. Yes, they try to talk about delivery versus payment versus receipt versus payment. I don't give a shit. The STC, Kaplan, Past Perfect, they all ask you to define it. Everyone gets it wrong every time. Don't worry about it. It's one account. I don't know that FINRA would actually ask you a question to define both of them. And if they do, it's probably an experimental, and let it go. It's one question. Okay. Bianca, I hope that helped a little bit. Okay. Okay. Yes, you can take. Yeah, the 7-year thing is not in place yet. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, don't worry about them. It's okay. So Brooklyn. Okay. So the remote stuff, you can always take breaks, but here's the problem with the break. Okay. So if you're doing a remote or in person, you can take a break, but it's not built in. The clock still runs. But if you take a break, remember, since you can't go backwards, no cheating. If you take a break, which is allowed, when you come back in, they have to recheck you in just like last time, which could take up to 10 minutes, which is not stop the clock. Although there was a rumor, and I think somebody said that they actually give you a break. They built in a 5 or 10 minute break into the thing. I can look it up. You're taking a Friday. If they do a break, I'll try to throw an alert out there somewhere. If anyone's taking it on remote and they know that they give you a break, like an official timed out break, but I don't know if they do. That's why I think they don't. But again, you can always, Robin and John are both the same way. They don't think they can take it. You can always take a break. Just remember the clock runs. But if you're on time and you're working and you're doing it and you're doing 45 to 50 questions an hour, so what? You have time to take a break. And maybe you should. Maybe every 45 questions, you throw yourself a break. So this way, it's almost like taking 2.5 50-question quizzes instead of a long 135 questions. I don't have a problem with that. Okay. What should you watch for the 66? Okay. Allie, so really what you should be watching is if you have the book and the videos, get them. Brian Lee's videos are good. I hate giving him business, but it's fine. His shit is solid. My videos, it's a series 63 videos. I think I'm going to try to do a little 66 one, but I keep saying that, and it's just I get so busy with the teaching that I hardly get around to it. So if you watch my series 63 playlist, that's half the 66. Okay? And then I think I'm going to try to bang one out either tonight or tomorrow. I have a student after this, but I'm going to try to bang one out with with the different types of corporations, sole prop, LLC, limited partnership, stuff like that. Okay. LV, go get some sleep. Okay. To Romanian. Okay. You can register. So remember something. Mark, how are you? So, okay, we can talk about that. So now, Charles, I do any test. I just label it. Charles, if you have a question, ask away. It's on any exam. I can't write SIE, Series 6, Series 7, all that. So I keep rotating what it is. Anything, this is always, Nicole, somebody was asking about you. So Charles, if you have a question, jump in. All the stuff I talk about goes back and forth, okay? So that the DVP, RVP is for the 7, okay. Arlen, how are you? Okay. Now, let me face the Romanian, okay. The Romanian, there it is, okay. So thinking of going to exam during winter break, am I able to register independent? So yes, so if you can take the SIE, the 63, the 65, and the 66 on your own. Once you start working for a firm, then you can take the 7 or the 6 or the 79 or the 99. So you can self-sponsor for all of them. I think you use a U10 form. Okay, so Charles, if you have some questions, hit me. Okay, so now, Bianca, okay. Yes, so, okay, let me hit Julyssa's first. Okay, so if you're taking the SAE tomorrow, okay, if you're taking the, I know you're here. I'm so happy for you. You heard me talking about you because somebody asked about you, Nicole, and I'll hit the issue-directed stuff. Now, Julissa, tomorrow, take tests. Thursday, take tests. No. Tomorrow, take tests. Thursday, just add knowledge and read. Now, the other thing is I think Kaplan has a thing called exam tips and trending topics. Make sure you read that. It's very important. Okay. Oh, you're back already. You couldn't stay away. Okay. Now, Colleen was asking about Nicole. So now, and then Thursday, spend the time adding knowledge, go over Kaplan's exam tips and stuff. That's the best way to do it. The day before, you really should not be taking a lot of tests. Okay. So now, a wash sale. Okay. So Bianca, a wash sale is if I buy stock at 50 and then I sell stock at 35, I have a loss. I have a $15 loss. Let's make it small. So let's say I buy stock at 50 and I sell it at 45. I have a $5 loss. Okay? I now have a $5 loss. If within 30 days, before or after I buy the stock back, say I buy the stock at 40. Let's say I buy the stock at 47. So I bought stock at 50, sold it at 45, and then within 30 days bought it at 47. So that I can't take that loss because it's a wash sale on my taxes. So what they do is they don't say you can't ever take the loss. What they do is they add the loss to my cost basis. So if I bought it at 47 back, they're going to add the 5 points. So now my cost basis is 52. So my cost basis is 52 now, so that if I do later sell it, say I now sell the stock at 50, instead of paying a $5 gain, I actually have a $2 loss. So really it's going to be like I bought the stock at 52 and sold it at 50. So whatever loss you get, okay, whatever loss you get, they're going to add that you were taking, they're going to add it to your cost basis. And so there's not there's not against the law to buy and sell all the time. It's just your cost base is going to keep getting added on. Okay. Hope that helps, Bianca. Okay. Brooklyn took exam. Okay. So losses from limited partnerships. Okay. So there's a question. So passive losses can only be used for passive gains. Remember, if I have a capital loss, I can use that dollar for dollar against a capital gain. That's fine. I make 50 grand trading. I lose $30,000 trading. It offsets. I only pay tax on 20 grand. If I lose money if I have a capital loss of say 10 grand, I can use 3 grand a year against my ordinary income. Okay. So I can use 3 grand a year against my ordinary income. So if I make 100 grand a year and I lose $50,000 trading, I can use 3 grand of that 50 against my 100 grand. So now I only made 97,000. So that's what I pay tax on. Sorry if I talk fast. There's no way around it. My brain is just nuts. Then I leave 47,000 to carry forward, which I can use all of it against a capital gain if I want. Or if I don't have capital gains, I can use 3 grand a year every single year. So when I was running a firm about 10 years, maybe about 8 years ago, one of the guys came in and said, I have to trade a lot. I go, well, we don't allow it because I need to. And I go, why? He goes, well, I lost $1 million, choking, right? He lost $1 million during the crash. So he had all these losses that he could only use 3 grand a year against his ordinary income. And he goes, that would take me 300 years to offset. So he goes, I need to trade because I could basically make $1 million trading and not get, and not have to pay taxes on it. So you can offset all his capital losses, can always offset capital gains. Now, Brooklyn, your question, since I went on a tangent, limited partnerships are called passive investments. So any losses are passive losses. So if you lose money on a DPP, it can only be used against other passive gains, which is direct investment in real estate like rental or other limited partnership money. So if you lose money in a DPP or a limited partnership, same thing, you can use that loss to offset a gain from direct investment in real estate, which is passive, or the word passive gains, or other limited partnership gains. I hope that helps, Brooklyn. Okay. Issuer directed sales. So when we go public, okay, I'm just rattling it off. When we if I went public, I'm going to direct that certain people can get shares. Okay. So that's fine. So what happened, and that's just, it is what it is. But here's where the question's going to be. If you work for a broker dealer, you cannot buy shares on the deal. If you work for a broker dealer, you cannot buy shares on a common stock IPO. Okay. You cannot buy stock on a common stock IPO. You can buy it after it starts trading. The only exception to this really is if your spouse, okay, if your spouse works for the firm, okay, if your spouse works for the firm, okay. I hope we're okay with that. Does that make sense? So if your spouse works for the firm, you can, okay, you can buy shares on it because they figure that, you know, the amount of people that are probably going to be committing, you know, the reason that you can't buy shares on a new offering, a common stock IPO, is because they figure if people in Wall Street were to buy on common stock IPOs, none of the good ones would be left around. Okay. Now, so if you work for that, so now there's a couple of things that go with that. So if you are going to issue shares, I shrunk it. If you're going to issue shares to the public and you're the underwriter and you're selling them, there's a thing called spinning. Okay. Spinning is where I'm going to give, and it's a violation. It's an absolute violation, is where I'm going to allocate shares to other people like who may go public one day or have invested. Basically, I'm going to allocate shares to a person so that they would give me investment banking business in the future. That's a bribe. You can't do that. Don't confuse that with flipping. Spinning is a violation. Flipping is just frowned upon. Flipping is if I buy shares of an IPO and then turn around right away and sell it. Because what I'm doing is when I want the good deal, say I wanted a Yahoo deal or something like that, I would actually have to take a lot of the crap deals from the underwriter. Say I'm a hedge fund and I see the Yahoo deal coming soon. And that's going to be a great one. I will have to buy a lot of their shitty deals to get it. So what I do is I buy the shares and then right away I try to sell them to lose as little money as possible. That's called flipping. And if you're the underwriter and you're selling shares to a lot of people who flip them out, The lead underwriter can enact a penalty bid where every share that he buys, which we can always go over later, every shares that the underwriter buys during the syndicate bid or the stabilizing bid will come out of my profit, I guess. So if I'm an underwriter and I sell to people who flip right away, the lead underwriter might penalize me for doing that because I'm supposed to sell it to people who are investing for the long haul. I hope that helps. Okay. 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 Let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Okay, so how far back did I miss? Wow, I missed a lot of shit. Okay. Oh, Jonathan, how are you? Okay. Yeah, see, look at that. You're all done, right? So, John, are you totally done? Okay. I'm so happy for you. Robin, we're gonna nail this thing, right? So, Jonathan, I'm so happy. Thank you for coming in. I wish I had seen it before, but I was rambling on. Okay. That's fine. So you're not scoring in the 80s. So we'll talk. We're talking Saturday. We'll go over it. Okay. Everyone's rooting for it. Everyone's taking it. We're all going to be happy. There's going to be a lot of good news in the next coming weeks. Okay. So Nicole, the next one. Stock sold through a 144 sale. So if you sell stock, say you buy shares on a Reg D, which means it's a holding period, right? It's unregistered shares through Reg D, and then there's a 6-month holding period. If you then wait the 6 months and then sell it, once you sell it, then it's considered registered. So once it's sold, the reason they say that is that, look, if you buy shares on a Reg D, you have to hold it for 6 months fully paid, unless you want to sell it to a quib under 144A. After the 144, if you sell it, the person who buys it from you doesn't have to hold it for 6 months again. So the whole point is that we have oh God, I forget. Sometimes I think I'm good and then I go. So if you sell the shares after the 144 period is over, then they're considered registered, and the person who bought them can sell them right away. No holding period. Okay. Hey, did Greg come on? He called me at 8:28, and then I didn't know he was going to come on. Okay. Greg, you on here? Okay. Now, thank you, Angie. Okay. Hope that helps, Nicole. Because what happens is I talk and then, okay. Yeah, Angie, I'm happy to help you on the 66. We'll get there. Yeah, sometimes you have to do the returns, like total return. Most people don't get a lot of math questions. Maybe you did, but that means that you probably won't get it this time. Sometimes you get the hard one, and that's what happens. Okay, SECs. Okay, you guys are all talking. I won't have to worry about that. Okay, so that's true. So the 66 is a pain in the ass. Look, again, you guys know that I like STC. We know that. But Kaplan, if you have Kaplan already, no need to buy another program. Kaplan will be fine. STC is fine. Brian Lee's videos are good. I should really find a way to talk to him. Okay, so now I could throw some business his way, I think, although it sounds like he's doing fine. Achievable is good. If you're on a budget and you don't want to spend, $500, buy the Achievable. I got a link down there, and I might have a code to help you out to get a discount. And the person who told me about that was Cynthia. I didn't even know you could do it. Also, I didn't know this. If any of you guys are vets or disabled or from some sort of whatever it is, if you contact Disabled, tell them I sent you, they'll throw another discount at you. I think you got to prove that you're a vet or disabled, but they will give you another discount. But in reality, it's a $74 product. I mean, it's not going to bankrupt you, considering people are spending $500-600 on this stuff. Okay. LV, do we need to know what the bond buyer index? I would say I would not worry about it. I would not worry about it too much. Just understand that it is an index. Understand what the bond buyer is. The bond buyer is a magazine/website that gives you information about new issues on munis, like the visible supply, which is how many muni bonds are coming to the market in the next 30 days. The placement ratio, okay? Basically how many of these bonds being issued are being placed. So it tells us the supply and demand. And always remember something. They don't talk about how many bonds. They talk about the dollar amount of the bonds, not how many. Okay. 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 Used Excel. That was through. Okay. Yeah, I think Excel has a program. Okay. Oh, Nicole, yes, sent me a text. Yes. Greg did. Greg is done. Greg is the man. He is so, so happy. Okay. Okay. Yes, I can. Hold on. Let me get there. So, yeah, that's the thing. Angie, I get it. Sometimes you get the mad. You got the rules and regs are half, but yeah, you can't give up. A lot of people get hurt in the investment vehicles because they think, oh, I have the 7. I know what futures and forwards are. But it's insurance, it's mutual funds, it's annuities, it's all that stuff. Okay. Okay. Right. So Richard, so when qualified or non-qualified plan. So a qualified plan means the money goes in pre-tax. It's never been touched. So when you take it out at 59 and a half or later, you get taxed on everything. And most of them have the max RMD of 72. Although this summer they're kind of reducing some of that so that they're kind of getting rid of some of those rules. So qualified plan means pre-tax. Money goes in untaxed. When you take it out, you pay tax on every penny. So that's your answer. Non-qualified means it goes in after tax. It still grows tax deferred. And then when you take it out, you only pay tax on the growth. So remember something. Both qualified and unqualified grow tax deferred. Everyone thinks it's not that way. Qualified and unqualified both grow tax deferred. And then when you take it out, you either pay tax on everything on a qualified or tax on the growth part in a non-qualified. Okay. Okay. Angie, if you want to meet, we can go over the returns and stuff. Okay. Total return, holding period return, stuff like that. Okay. Real rate of return. Okay. Richard, I hope that helps. Okay. Okay. Yeah. LV, stop. You're not dumb. You're doing fine. Okay. LV, you're fine. You have no confidence. Okay. In regards to MSR bureaus, okay, Brooklyn, in regards to MSR bureaus, okay. So if we go over, if interest rates drop or for whatever reason, but they will call the bond, okay. I saw that, Nicole. So now, so if I have a muni bond and interest rates drop, they're going to call the bond back, right? Probably. So here's the thing: an in-whole call is where they buy the whole damn thing. They buy all of the bonds. They buy them all. Boom. And that's usually if you have a premium bond, you have to quote it to the first in-whole call date. In-whole means where they're buying everything. Hope that makes sense. Now, a partial call means they're taking back, like maybe every year. Maybe they use a sinking fund to buy back like 5% of the bonds every year. Or maybe if a $10 million issuing, maybe they buy back like $100,000 worth of bonds every other year, every year. It's in part, so they're not taking the whole thing. And if it's in part, they either have to do either first in, first out. Like, who are they going to call it from? Either first in, first out, which is always a problem, or random. Like they just lottery pick. They just pick randomly people. They have to use a method that is fair and reasonable to call back the bonds. Third, catastrophe calls. I hate to use it, but 9/11, the World Trade Center was a revenue bond, okay? Port Authority owned it. They issued a bond to build it. So now, when the towers are knocked down, there's nobody paying rent anymore. So all those bondholders still need to be paid. So the insurance on the project kicks in, and they issue a catastrophe call where the insurance comes in and pays off all the bonds. Even a non-callable bond has a catastrophe call feature because you can't not have that. So if something horrible happens where the project is either condemned or destroyed or whatever it is, they issue the catastrophe call and pay off the bondholders. That's what a catastrophe call is. Okay. I hope that helps, Brooklyn. Okay. 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 Thanks for having a message. Okay. Good. Have you guys figured it out? Carolyn, just take your time. Okay. By the way, yeah, Nicole, Greg passed it, I think. Okay. Okay. So fine. So it would not be an in-part call. It would not be a catastrophe call. So Brooklyn. So on a premium bond, they will show the first in-whole call date. They can't do it in part, and they can't do a catastrophe because you can't predict a catastrophe. But the first in-whole call date is the first date that it's going to be called. So if it's a premium, It's no, that's what I'm saying, Brooklyn. It wouldn't be. It is always the in-whole call date, because an in-part call date means maybe 5% of the people will get called. It doesn't work. Okay. Okay. I hope that helps, Brooklyn. Okay. Okay. If you call Kaplan, they might, on the master exam, they probably won't. Okay, so Carolyn, okay, if you gross tax deferred and you're getting taxed again. Okay, so here's what happens. So Carolyn, so for qualified, it's growing tax deferred, but you never paid a penny in taxes on it, ever. Never paid taxes on it. It was strictly on pre-tax money. So you only always tax once. Either you're taxed at the end on everything, or you're taxed on a little bit in the beginning on a non-qualified, and then only the growth on the back end. Carolyn, does that make sense? So the growth portion, a qualified plan, you pay no taxes. It's called pre-tax. It grows tax deferred, and then you pay tax on everything. Okay. 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 By the way, Angie, if you really want, the other thing is go to, I hate to throw business away from me, but Brian Lee has really good videos on this stuff. And if you want free shit, YouTube, other YouTube ones, but go to Khan Academy and Investopedia. They actually do a good free job of explaining some of this stuff. Khan Academy is not Series 66 or 65 related, but they talk about the present value, future value, all that stuff on a retail level. So I would think if you type in, like present value or total return Khan Academy, there'd probably be a video. If not, Investopedia will, and they do a lot of cartoons, which is always great. Okay. Okay. So Brooklyn, do you understand what I'm saying? That it could only be the in-whole call. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I did say yes. Sorry about that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, statistics got really hard wrong. Yeah. So that's the thing. They keep saying, okay, they keep saying that it doesn't. Okay. So they're going to keep saying that there's no curve. I am telling you, every student I have says it goes easy, hard, easy. So you have to gird yourself up that there's going to be a point in the middle where you're like, I have one kid who took the 63 and he goes to Ryan and he goes, the first part, it was easy. The middle part, I'm like, oh my God, I'm failing. And at the end, he goes, I got this. So they keep saying it. And everyone I talk to, even on Reddit, they're saying it's a bell curve. I get it. You don't want really, the easy ones, you warm up. The middle ones, you're in the role. And then at the end, maybe you're tired. So they're going to do a little easier ones. Okay. Bernie, so what are you doing? What are you doing different this time? Okay. But how are you handling it this time? How are you studying differently? Because you passed the SIE. Now you missed the 7. So what are you going to do differently? So I would say if you just passed it recently, okay? Yeah, Bert, fucking past perfect is ridiculous sometimes, okay? So Bernie, if you have the time, I would say just read the book again. Read the book straight through, not options or margin or balance sheets. You got to work on those. But everything else, just read it straight through. You'd be amazed at how much when you read the book, you go, oh my God, I saw a question on that. Oh my God, I saw a question on that. Okay. Okay, Bert, yeah. I keep telling everyone, past perfect is fine. And if you can pass past perfect, you're going to pass the exam. Oh, Angie, thank you. Cup of coffee. I like that. Thank you very much. Big Blue. That's awesome. So I would go to Brian Lee. I swear to God, his fucking videos are awesome. They really are. Okay. So keep past perfect in it with a grain of salt, knowing that it's kind of difficult. Okay. That's awesome. I like seeing the blue. That makes me excited. Okay. Okay. Hope that helped. Any more questions? My family went to Chipotle, so I have a little time. I have a student in 20 minutes, but I can talk for a little bit more. Although it sounds like you guys are helping each other out, which is awesome. I swear to God, that's probably the best part of this is that you guys help each other out. Even Greg was like, it's the most positive, and I'm a dick. So I'm not even that nice a guy, and everyone on here is really nice. So that's awesome. Okay. Okay, Sam, I didn't get to that. Okay. 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 So, by the way, Angie, look in I have an insurance video, right? I have a how to pass a Series 6 insurance video. Watch that. Even though it's 66, boom, it'll help you. It's really super simple. It's like 12 minutes out of your life that you can watch. If you go on my how to pass a Series 6 video, I have, it's called insurance, and you can do it. That explains everything for the 66. Okay, Sam. If you want practice exams it doesn't matter for which test. STC, you have to buy the whole package. Notman, you have to buy the whole package. Kaplan, you can buy questions. Achievable, yes, you have to buy the package, but it's $90. It's still cheaper than most of the people's questions. Past Perfect, you can buy the questions, and training consultants. So here's the deal. Training consultants, they're closer in style to the exam, but they're too easy, I think. Kaplan, they're not like the exam. Some people say they are, but it's whatever. It's your mileage may vary. They go a little too deep into the weeds on this shit. Like sometimes they ask you like, what's on this or what's on that, and it's not really that kind of test. And I am personally pissed off when it says something's 8%. Instead of saying 8%, they say 0.08. I just think it's not the way the test is going to do it, and I don't like that. I think that's kind of lazy. Okay. If stock falls, you get less shares. Hold on. Okay. Oh, the other person. What was his name? Is the other person who take? So whoever was taking the 26, Robin's on here. Okay. Now, Sam, do you need to buy a course? If you want to take two practice, there's two ways to take a free practice exam. Notman Marks gives you a free practice exam. Okay. You don't have to sign up. You just go on their website and do it. They may want your email and they're going to spam you a little bit. But then FINRA has a free one too, but you don't want to do that till you're almost ready. That's for the SIE. For the top off, there's really no free ones. So if you want cheap ones, you either go to Wiley, which is okay. I think you can buy their questions. Achievable has good questions. I have a link in the description if you want to do it there. You can buy their whole package for less than people charge their questions. Kaplan has a lot of questions. Past Perfect does, and Training Consultants does. The problem with Past Perfect and Kaplan is I think they go too deep, but Past Perfect goes even farther. I have no problem with them. So I think for the most part, they really do get you ready, but they really do make you doubt whether you know your shit. Like, I will take this test and I will get one or two wrong, and it's because I made a super mistake. I will take Past Perfect and probably get mid-80s, high 80s at best, because they confuse you. They see a lot of answers say, this is tricky, this won't be on the exam. And every time I see something that says it won't be on the exam, I go, why the F are you even asking me that then? It makes no sense. Okay. Yep, 66 is a pain in the ass. Okay. I can square. So LV, okay. Okay, reverse convertible. I know LV, you might still be on here or not. Okay. LV, a reverse convertible is not that you get less shares. It's a regular convertible. You, the investor, choose when you convert. So you convert when it's profitable. In reverse convertible, it's when the issuer chooses. That's the thing. So reverse convertible is the issuer chooses when they convert, and that's always going to be when it's worse for you. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So the problem is the next one tests 45% of the test is the rules, and the rest is all the other stuff. Right. Okay. You're not being annoying, LV. Stop. You're fine. Okay. I think we're getting near the end. Okay. I went backwards. That's right. Okay. Oh, hold on. A bunch just showed up. Hold on. Huh, that's funny. Yeah. Okay. Simple premium and discount explanation. I don't know. Hold on. I don't know. Okay. Shh. I'm starting to okay. Yeah, but Angie, don't forget to keep reading, okay? Okay. Yeah. Angie, I know you want to do the questions and I get that, but really focus on the reading and the questions. Like, do a quiz, see where you're weak, read. Do a quiz, see where you're weak, read. Just do that one. Okay. Oh, they have a guy with a good voice. There's a guy, Brian Bishop, I think, is one of the guys who's a teacher. There's like three teachers. There's an old white guy, I think a younger black guy, Brian Bishop. I think he's phenomenal. I think Eddie, I forgot his name, the older guy. He's funny. He's kind of creaky, but he's not me. Okay, good. Okay. I know the F word. It's at one point I'll get a strike and I'll get kicked off. Okay. LV, text me what your question is. I don't understand what's question. Okay. Okay. So let's go. This when you're okay. Yeah. No, I don't know, but now everyone on YouTube knows. That's okay. Look up Tony's votes. Okay. Here's the problem, Angie, with Tony V stuff. It's no, it's true about the job, but it's 7 years old and everything's changed. So he's fun to watch, but it's the little stuff. Okay. 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 Chad, I'm gonna let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Oh, it's the acronyms. Yeah, that's just fine. It's called acronyms, actually, what it is. Okay. So now, Chad, I'm gonna end with that one and then I'm gonna head out because I do have a student in 13 minutes. If you see two options, the better option, okay. Alondra, you passed the 63 today. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. I am so happy for you. Okay, so now, yeah, that's what happens. Those videos are really helpful for that exam. So, to determine debit or credit for a spread, find the better option, okay? The better option is like if a call is a right to buy, which one's better? The lower strike is the better one. Ignore the premium. The lower strike is the better. If you bought that one, it's a debit because if you buy the better option, it's a debit. If you sell the better option, it's a credit. So if I have a 50 call and a 40 call, the 41's better. So if I bought that, it's a debit. If I sold that, it's a credit. Okay, because there's money coming in. Now, if it's a put, what does a put give you the right to do? The right to sell. So the higher strike put is the better option. So if you buy the higher strike put, it's a debit. If you sell the higher strike put, it's a credit. Okay. And now the other thing is always look for the better option, the lower call or the higher put. And that'll tell you if you buy the better one, it's a debit. If you sell the better one, it's a credit. The last part of this is distance, the farther premium. So a May and a June, the June is farther. Think about this. If I have a coupon for something, would I want that coupon to expire now in October or I want it to expire in December? Of course, I would want it to expire in December. Okay. I would want it to expire in December, so I would pay more for that. So if you have a choice of two options, the one with the longer expiration month is the better option, which means a higher premium. So if you buy the one with the longer month, it's a debit. If you sell the one with the longer month, it's a credit. Okay. Yeah, Loretta, scroll through some of the older ones. I think they give a lot of advice on this. Really, if you're taking the 7, you got to read the book. You got to know. Here's the thing, and it's because I'm jumping off. You have to know munis. You have to know taxes. You have to know suitability, and you have to know options. I'm not saying that's it, but if you know those 4, you're in a really, really good place. And don't sweat their super complicated options. Know the math and know the suitability. Like if I'm bullish, I buy a call. If I'm bearish, I buy a put. If I'm long stock, I buy a put to protect or sell a call for income. If I'm short stock, I buy a call to protect or sell a put for income. Guys, thank you very much, and I will see you in a couple days. Have a good night.